Hey everybody, it's a Review Revolution, back at you again, taking a look at the next in the Hasbro Marvel Legends Blob series. And today we're looking at X3 Jean Grey, played by, and excuse me, I'm going to say this wrong, Famke Janssen. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Beautiful actress. I mean, I think she was a fairly nice pick for Jean Grey. It's just a very bad story. It's a very disappointing story. The whole approach on the Dark Phoenix and how it finally came to a conclusion. It was a big deal for Marvel. It was a big deal for the X-Men in the comic, and in the movie, it just struck me as a way to get rid of Cyclops so Wolverine could get the girl. So, in a nutshell, that's what the whole Dark Phoenix saga seemed to be for me. But that aside, take a look at the figure. Now, of course, we have the traditional, or the usual Hasbro packaging, which they're not doing anymore for these, but usual packaging. Again, character's picture in the top, title of the series on the left-hand side, and then, of course, the figure in the bubble. The 4 portraits. Again, very beautiful actress. Just terrible way that she was that her character was written, which is really a shame. On the back, we've got 4 of the figures done, or we're about to have 4 of the figures done. So we're halfway through. We've got Thor that was done. We're about to do Jean Grey, Quicksilver, and Juggernaut. Done. She-Hulk, Ultimate Wolverine, Yellow Jacket, and Zorn. And then, of course, big old Blob is left to go. One thing I want to mention is that this is a very X-Men heavy wave. A lot of X-Men related stuff. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 five mutants counting the Blob. So over half the figures that you get are mutants. And then if you throw in Juggernaut, that's 6 characters that are just from the X-Men. So if you're an X-Men fan, and if you don't mind 2 of them being from the movie, it's actually a wave that's certainly worth picking up, I'd say. But taking a look now this is, from what I can tell, and I'm not all that excited about it, but this is kind of the power charged version of the Dark Phoenix. This is just her in her regular outfit, which I much rather would have this one, but take what you can find. Her stats: 5'6", 115 pounds, real name Jean Grey, identity public, alias is none. I don't buy that. That should actually say Phoenix, or Dark Phoenix, considering who we're talking about. Affiliation X-Men, powers telepathy and telekinesis, atomic manipulation. The write-up says, Jean Grey was always a source of strength for the X-Men. As one of the first mutants recruited for the team, she was the person Professor Xavier depended on most. But deep inside, Jean lay the all-consuming power of the Phoenix. Which awakened when she sacrificed herself to save her friends. Now resurrected as a Dark Phoenix, her powers threaten the existence of the entire planet. The X-Men must choose to battle their former teammate to prevent her from destroying everything she once held dear. So, X3 Jean Grey, X-Men 3 Dark Phoenix. However you want to look at it. For now, we're going to take a moment, pop her out of the pack, take a look, have some fun. Be right back. Alright everybody, we're back, and we've got the Dark Phoenix, X3 Jean Grey, popped out of her pack, and unlike Juggernaut, I'm no more happy with the figure out of her pack than when she was in. Really, I will say this, I am more determined now to get the official version, the non mascara running Jean Grey that was in this wave that's featured on the box. I really don't like that at all. It completely ruins the face. just with the real dark eye makeup, like she's got 2 black eyes. And then if you can kind of make it out, you can see kind of the lines across her forehead, almost like fiery lines coming off her forehead and down on her cheeks. You know, just like energy radiating from her eyes. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. This variant was so unnecessary. It's really a disappointment. So, yeah, I'm more determined now, especially when I look at some of the other parts of the figure. I mean, I really like to sculpt on the hair, and though it's pretty obvious that the Hasbro line is not going to do much as far as giving us any highlights or much in the way of dry brushing on the costumes, I still think the costume looks really nice. I think it actually looks really, really good. It's pretty simple, but it's got some little details: the buckle, the lines, the laces. It's got some nice details, the cut and the cuff, that I like, and I think I like it a lot better without this face. On the paint, though, they do give us these hands, which almost look like they were unfinished, like these are just primer-tipped hands. I'm sure this is the way the figure was intended to be made, because underneath it looks like it has the skin tone underneath. But it looks like they've actually just primered the hands in this light gray, which I don't get. I don't like it. I'm sure the variant is probably a lot better. The head is on a pin and hinge, and it actually twists better than it moves up and down. I mean, it does move a bit, but not much. The arms come out, twist at the elbow, hinge at the hand. So a pretty simple articulation in the arms. She does have kind of a crunch at her chest and a twist at the waist. And then the other big issue I have, and it's better to see from here, lift up the soft kind of skirt pieces, but then maybe you can see, there we go, so far. From the way she was packaged, the pin or the hinge piece for the double jointed knee on both sides have her legs, the bottom of her legs, kind of bow-legged. It's not from her pelvis, but it's definitely down in the knees, and they're just pried apart. It's fixable, but it's a little disappointing. The legs actually do twist, which I don't know if you can see that. They do twist. They are double jointed, so they do bend 2 places. She's got a hinge at the foot, no pivot, which I'm fine with. The pivot on a figure like this, I really wouldn't have cared for. It comes out a little bit, but again, with the skirt being the way it is, it doesn't really going to come out a whole lot. But here's another good example of what I was saying about the sculpting. Had the paint been a little bit better and brought out the sculpting on the boot, that would be really, really nice. And I do think that had the legs not been packaged this way, if they had been just as they should be, without the bow leg in it, and without the issues with the hands and the heavy eye makeup on here, I would say it's probably a pretty good figure. So I may yet come back and do a review on the variant if I ever do get a hold of it. But for the most part, for this one, unless you're trying to get the arm of the Blob, whoops, the arm of the Blob, and like I said, unless you're an X-Men 3 fan, so much so that you really want the X3 Jean Grey, not one that is all that exciting. Not all that exciting, not all that great, but certainly an interesting figure if you're a movie fan, or if you are like a Jean Grey fan, you like to collect her figures. For now, this has been the Review Revolution, saying rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.